Hello. It's me. It's Jammy Dodgers, more importantly. Hello, welcome. I always forget to turn the sound off on my phone before I start streaming, which probably wouldn't matter too much, except that the phone is like right in front of me, so that I can use it to see the live chat, because kind of it's kind of challenging for me to see the live chat from all the way over where my laptop is, because my eyesight sucks. And the glasses, there's like a 2-foot range where the glasses are just 100% unhelpful. So yeah. Hi Najwa, welcome. Welcome. I've got my fuck mug. You can't see because it's got too much tea in it to be able to show you the side. Actually, I guess I can show you on the cat cam, can't I? Hang on. There it is. It's my fuck mug. Jammy is cuter though, so we'll leave Jammy on there. But yeah, I thought tonight needed a cup of tea. We've had a bit of a rainstorm here today. Some good thunder. It's been nice. Nice being indoors for it. Oh, I forgot to turn my light on behind me. Hang on, let me turn my light on. Unicorn me. Yes, I have stupid shortcuts set up for my phone. There it goes. Yeah. In order to turn off that light, I say I say unicorns aren't real. That's the shut off. Jammy and tea. Yes. The most important things. Okay, so what are we here for? We're here for some nail art. We're gonna do nail art based on some new tattoos that I got. Because I felt like it. I didn't really have, sort of a set thing that I needed to do this week, and nobody put in any requests. So I figured I would just do some fun beetles. So the tattoos are still healing, but yeah, my plan is to do some nail art based on some of the species, and I'm just going to choose 5 species. We're just going to be doing my left hand, because my right hand is not naked. I am wearing cracked iced toad, I think is what it's called, which is was that from HHC or PPU, or was that directly from Cracked? I can't remember now. Maybe it's directly from Cracked. I don't know. Anyway, it's a cracked one, but super pretty. But yeah, I didn't really feel like taking that off, and I don't know that I'll have time to do more than 5 anyway, because, little beetles and shit can take a while. Hello, couch potato. Welcome. Let me get you back over to the Cats Up display for a moment so you can admire Jammy Dodgers. She's also got a stuffed animal with her. The stuffed animal in question there is named Gubby. And Gubby is ancient. Gubby is like older than me. He was my mom's. Hang on. Sorry, Jams. This is Gubby. Gubby has some stitches and some button eyes, and he's had several major surgeries. And I think this was probably me as a kid putting lipstick or something on him. Yeah, there's Gubby for you. What a good girl. Yeah, so Gubby Gubby was my mom's, and when Carmen was born, which was like 30 years ago now, Gubby was already in the condition that he's in. And so I was like, well, why don't I take Gubby and I'll give Carmen my childhood teddy bear, who still had lots of wear left in it, whose name is Private Benjamin. And so Carmen grew up with my childhood teddy bear, just like I grew up with my mom's childhood teddy bear. So, and yeah, Gubby, yeah, Gubby has seen some things, Najwa. Linnery, I don't know what you're talking about. You had a great nail art day. I was there for that, and you did awesome. Linnery is being too picky. She attempted a very challenging bit of nail art that, like, people's faces, incredibly difficult to do well to begin with at any scale. And to do them on your nails, just ridiculous. With nail polish, it's crazy. It's crazy to even attempt it. So she did awesome. But also, the stamped portion of it was very cool as well. She did like a blend of stamping and freehand. Anyway, so let me show you. I think I have. Hang on, let me see. I have to. Oh, I have to be in the nails up display for this. Because here it is. So, sorry, I probably should have not jump scared you with beetles, but we're going to be painting beetles, so I figure you're probably going to expect to see some beetles. So, whatever. So these are the species that are on my hand. Various different tattoos of these. There's 8 different species, so we're just gonna choose like 5 of them because that's how many nails I have on this hand. And yeah, so I just want to pick 5 of these and decide. Oh, I guess I need to hang on. Is different. Oh, okay. Then I can now I can scroll the rest of the way. Yeah, anime face is ridiculously challenging. Hello, Rax, welcome. You're thinking this one, Linry? I think you're mentioning Prugly colors, so I'm guessing that you probably mean the one with the yellow, sort of amber yellow banding. And then that's a pretty cool one. This one is also interesting, but I don't know. It's quite similar to the other one, so I feel like if I'm gonna do, I wouldn't want to do both this one and this one. This one is super cute. This is a dogbane leaf beetle. These are actually common as dirt in like, at least in the northeast of the US and in Ontario. They're very, very common, but you just don't usually notice them because they're very small. These guys are super cute. Tortoise beetle. I think I might want to do a tortoise beetle. This one, I think, has like really easy form to get right with like fairly uncomplicated lines. This one's a little more complex, but very recognizable. So yeah, I don't know which ones I want to do. I'm seeing votes for the green iridescent one. That would be the dogbane leaf beetle. Was that a potato bug? If you mean this one, this is a Colorado potato beetle. Yeah, those are generally considered to be a pest, but I don't think about bugs that way so much, generally speaking. Probably because I'm not a farmer. I'm not trying to grow potatoes in Colorado or anywhere else for that matter. Yeah, tortoise beetles definitely have bubble beetle vibes. So these are all leaf beetles. I think the family is Chrysomelidae, I think is the family name. I might be misremembering that. Chryso something. Anyway, they're all in the same family. They're all leaf beetles, but just very different ones. Hello, Marie. Okay, so dogbane leaf beetle I will definitely do, because that is a super fun one. Any other votes for which ones? We got a vote for this Prugly, what's this one? Larger elm leaf beetle. So we'll do that one. I like this one. I feel like this is kind of an underrated. It's very simple though, so I don't know if it'll make as good a. Can I like? I can't make it small enough for you to see all of them, can I? Just trying to like make it easier for people to decide which ones they want to see. There's some of them anyway. I need to grab some kind of base though, so I think I'm just gonna do. Do I want to do a green? Do I want to do a green background, or do I want to do like a nude background? So it's like pseudo like negative space kind of Manny. Golden tortoise. Good choice, Rax. There's the last couple. Okay, let me do a poll. Hold up. Do a poll for background. Do we want green? Do we want nude? Start poll. Yes, that's Jammy Dodgers. Do the cats up display for you again, so you can see Jammy Dodgers. Gonna give it a minute for people to get their votes in. So a few of you have not yet voted. There's still enough to change the tide, so. Patau bug. Patau. I guess I should pull colors for the other guys, though. You would think that I would have pulled colors in advance for this, knowing that I was going to be doing this, but I am not that smart. So you're going to have to look at Jammy Dodgers for a while. I know that's going to be a major hardship for you. Potato bug, yeah. Okay, let me pull some crumbs. Okay. Gonna need these guys. Gonna need these guys. Gonna need these guys. Gonna need a bunch of greens. I should probably just fucking pull all my hollow tacos, for God's sake. What else we got that we might need? That might actually be a good. I think maybe that one, but maybe not that one. I don't know. Let's see. Okay. we'll have that for a start. All right, well, only 4 people voted, and that includes me. So y'all suck at voting. But I'm going to go ahead and end the poll. And we're going to do a nude background. So let's just do vanilla almond milk. Nope, that's the wrong one. Nails up. I need to get rid of this one. Jeez Louise. There we go. All right, so I'm going to use vanilla almond milk for it's just sort of just to sort of smooth things out, even out the color a little bit. I sometimes use vanilla almond milk for this, and I sometimes use they have one that's a pinky color that's a pretty good match for this, but for me at least. But I'm feeling a lighter background today. You did vote, you don't suck. All right, those of you that voted do not suck at voting, okay? Some of you might be in cars or something, unable to safely vote because you're just listening and driving. If you are, if you're Maymay, basically, doing that, and I'm serving as your radio host, eyes on the road, please and thank you. Maymay always pops in here being like, I've been listening to you while driving. I'm like, that's terrifying. Maybe it's just me. I don't drive, so to me it's always like nerve-wracking when I know people are like, even listening to the radio while driving can be distracting, so it's like, oh. Yeah, yeah. Maymay's notorious for that. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do for all of them is I'm going to go ahead and sort of outline all of them, do them in black, and then sort of try to work in the color. Do I want to do it that way? I probably don't want to do it that way. That would be stupid, wouldn't it? I am going to use black outlines for them, for sure. It's just a question of how I want to actually lay in the color. Okay, so we're definitely going to do a Colorado potato beetle. We're definitely going to do a golden tortoise beetle. We're definitely going to do a dogbane leaf beetle. And we're definitely going to do a larger elm leaf beetle. So there's still the 5th one that I do not have votes for, but we can start with let's start with the Colorado potato beetle. So I wonder if I can hang on. Let me see if I can like make this sort of like, how small can this be? I want to see if I can make this like super teensy, but have it still up on the screen so y'all can see what I'm working from. That's as small as you get, huh? Okay, well, what if I turn that on, but then put that in the corner, but then also make it littler? Does that work? That kind of works, eh? I guess I can't really get rid of the top of that, can I? All right, I think that's probably good enough, huh? Marie, you say that I know your favorite beetle, and so I'm scrolling up to see if you said something. And and I don't see you having said anything. And we're just choosing from the options that are here in the stream, so I don't know which one you would vote for. Murray, sorry. Hello, Sylvia. You found me through Linry. I'm so sorry. Oh, dung beetle? Yeah, we're not doing that because we're doing just beetles that are part of my tattoo. These are all species that are in my tattoo, and I don't have a dung beetle in this group, so yeah. So no dung beetles tonight. Okay, so I'm gonna start with let's see. I think I'm gonna start with the butt. I'm gonna need some. I'm gonna start with some see y'all later chai. Hello, cat. Sylvia, I'm not gonna paint a VW bug. I'm sorry. I do have a funny to me story about VW. They made a copyright claim not once, not twice, but 3 times against my art of beetles like this kind on Redbubble, and had my work taken down on 3 occasions. My copyright lawyer, aka my dad, it is handy to have a copyright lawyer in the family, had a lot of fun writing them letters about this. They are cute cars, but I have never done art of them, and I don't intend to start now. All right. Just mixing up a color for the Colorado potato beetle's butt. So I used a bit of see y'all later chai, a bit of butterscotch hop, and a bit of winter lily. That one's from Monarch. The other 2 are from Hello Taco. So this is going to be my potato beetle's butt. And I think we'll do the potato beetle on my thumb, which is a little on the short side right now because I hecked it up real good a little while ago. It was like absolutely shattered. It was really an impressive break, actually. The entire free edge was it basically exploded on me. So that was fun. And I had a press on over it for a while to let it grow out enough so that I could cut it a bit. Thankfully, it did not go sort of much below the free edge, but it was enough that I sort of needed to baby it for a while. So, all right, I think that's close enough to the shape of his butt. Just get that base color in there. And then we can start on the next area. I want to get this a little bit more even. Did I say exploded? Yes. My thumbnail exploded. Not like in the sense that it, there was no fire. It wasn't like when a Tesla explodes. It was more like when an old Duralex glass just spontaneously pops and shatters into a million pieces. I've gone a little bit too far on that side. I'm going to have to do a little cleanup. And I did not get my little cup of acetone out yet. You're curious about the VW artwork I did? I didn't do any VW artwork. I did beetle artwork. You don't actually like the cars? Your mom had them when you were growing up, and one started on fire when you were driving on the freeway. Okay, well that's a really good reason not to like a particular brand of car. I mean, they're cute looking. I've never driven one. So that does sound ungood. The artwork that I did was just beetle, like actual animal beetles. Just I guess maybe some of y'all don't know. My my background is more scientific art, not like scientific illustration, like the stuff you see in textbooks, but more like art inspired by science. And so, yeah, I have like a Redbubble page, and I have a standalone little clothing brand that I have manufactured. I have stuff manufactured for me by a little company in Montreal. And yeah, I do science, mostly bugs and microbes and space themed art. So when I say that I had beetle art, I actually just mean beetles. All right, so that is the butt. And then we're going to go in and do the thorax, which is kind of like this-ish. And I think it looks like the little noggin is also in this orangey. This is getting real gloopy. I'm going to have to add some thinner to this. Yeah, I have a lot of bug tattoos. Most of my tattoos are insects and arachnids. Bugs are sort of my first love. But it's real hard to make a living as a bug nerd. There's not a lot of jobs that pay a living wage for entomology. So I ended up going into more the molecular biology, microbiology side of things. So I do a lot of art of that as well, but I don't find it quite as inspiring. I do have one. My first tattoo actually has microbes in it, as well as a gigantic beetle, as well as space. Actually, it's sort of the blend of all of my major interests in art. All right, a little more on this side. And then the head is gonna stick out from there. Potato bug is a tiny bug. I thought it was bigger until I saw one in real life. Yeah, all of these beetles that are in this family, they're all pretty small. The potato beetles are, I think, one of the smaller ones of this group, but yeah, none of them are particularly large. If you're used to looking at, real sort of macro photos of them, they look enormous, but yeah, they're just itty bitty little guys. Bugs are giant compared to little microbes. Marie, you went big animal biology, upper vert zoology, and mammalogy. I have never had any interest in mammals. Look, I know I am one. I just don't care about us. I just find us really uninteresting. Same with birds. Like, they're fine. Like, obviously I love my cats, and I love all animals in the sense that, like, I want them all to be happy and have wonderful lives, and I think they're all incredibly important. But I don't find them as interesting to learn about or to look at. My non-mammal interest. Yeah, I can't help it. I don't know. I like things that are really, really small. All right, let's see here. So we want to do this little area here. And I think on these guys, they have a real small one of these. There's like a little... So beetles have this little tiny triangle. Like... So this like line down here, this is the two separate sides. These are the elytra. They're like wing covers. And all beetles have like some kind of a little triangle area here that the size of it really varies depending on the species. On some of them, it's like huge. And on some of them, it's incredibly teensy and basically invisible or almost invisible. But it allows them to like lift their wings, their elytra, because they have to like lift their elytra to move them out of the way so that they can release their wings, which are underneath. So they can fly. At least for the ones that can fly. Not all of them can fly. But even the ones that can't fly have the little triangle still. Because evolution is wild. It just keeps shit that's not causing problems. If it doesn't kill you, maybe it'll stick around. It might not. Birds are too flittery. I agree with you. All right. Now you're wondering what the Beatles in Thumbelina, the movie, were? I've never seen it. They may or may not have been real. Who knows? All right, I'm gonna do a little... I am gonna do these in a somewhat sort of more graphic style because I do want to... I don't want them to be like super, super shaded realistic. Kind of want to get the form and the markings correct without worrying about like high realism. But... So I am going to do an outline on them, and I'm going to sort of simplify. Looks like we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 lines on the back. This one almost hits the edge of the elytra. And second one looks to be a little bit thicker on this one. I imagine that there's some variation in this, different individuals. Oh. I was not looking and I got real gloopy. I almost got my gloop everywhere. Cat, you managed to eat. Excellent. I'm sorry that you have been sick. I know that happens a lot for you when you travel. But that is excellent that you are feeling a little better. All right. Thin this out. I don't know if y'all could hear Jammy Dodgers a moment ago. She is snoring again. She has been doing her little patented Jammy honk wheeze snores over there. All right. So we'll do that and then get the other side. I really hope y'all can hear her. It's very funny. You think Simply missed an opportunity to use Bootylicious for the new collection? Lyrics say, I don't think you're ready for this jelly. Nice. Yeah, that would be good. I agree, though, that it would probably be very expensive. I don't think she's ever done any kind of music stuff. She's always just done, royalty-free music. Okay, so this section looks like we have some little teardrop shapes here in the middle, which I'm doing a very bad job of painting, but that's okay. At least it's not an anime face, so it should be easier than Linry's earlier attempts. At least if it looks wrong, none of y'all are gonna be able to look at it and go, ooh, that does not look like a face at all. Be like, yeah, sure, I don't know what a beetle looks like. That looks fine, I guess. This is the advantage of doing stuff that most people don't know what it looks like. As long as it kind of looks right, people are like, yeah, you nailed it. That's my secret. You can't say that I didn't do a bacteria right or whatever. I painted it wrong. You don't know what it looks like. All right, get some little markings on the head here. And we got a little bit there. And then some stuff around the edges. I don't know. I can't even tell what the hell's going on in this area at this point, but that's okay. It's probably some teeth or something. Put some little teeths in there. They probably got something like that. And then I guess we'll get some little antennae in there. Oh dear, I'm goopy again. You can hear the snoring. She's so good. You're eagerly awaiting swatches. You want to try to dupe them to distract yourself. Yeah. I think that I probably am okay without buying this collection because I do have a lot of like flakes in jellies from indies. It is tempting though, man. Like it's like the ooh, it's so pretty and it's in a different bottle thing that is very real. It's like, it's not exactly the same. For one thing, it's a different brand. Like, that's not a real... How dare you? How dare you, brain? Okay. I really did some coloring outside the lines on a couple of these things here, so I'm just gonna try and tidy up a little. I really should have put top coat before I started working on the details because it makes it a lot easier to tidy up, but I lacked the foresight this time. But okay, now we just need some little leggies. Are we gonna bother with little leggies? Maybe we won't. I don't know. Do we want to do them? Let's do them. Am I gonna be annoyed with myself if I don't do them? Yeah, I kind of am, actually. Okay. So let's go like just little leggy there, little leggy there. We're not going to worry too much about the leggies being very realistic. They're just going to be little leggies. Hello, little leggy. And then we need the longer back leggy. Come on. Oop, there we go. Little leggy. That'll do. Legs, legs, legs. All right, couch potato, thank you. Leg brigade. All right. I think my tea is probably cool enough to have a sip now. I'm drinking what is this shit called? Bengal spice tea. It's really good. The new formula that is jelly plus flakies is really only different from their existing in that it doesn't have any extra scattered hollow. Yeah, I mean they don't have anything else that is quite the same vibe as this one. They do look very much like an indie polishes, but yeah, I already have those in versions that I like better for the most part. So there's a couple though. There's a couple in there that are at least a little bit tempting. I'm gonna try and stay strong. You're sure the farmer who lives near me would break out in a sweat if he saw this potato bug? Yeah, well, don't let him see it. Okay. Next beetle. We're gonna do this guy. So that's the one that's here on my hand. Hello. There we go. I think she did a pretty good job with this. Still lots of healing to do. I feel like they're awfully round. Wonder if that'll be easier to do on my middle finger or... I mean, it probably doesn't matter that much, right? Yeah, it probably doesn't matter that much. So not quite the right color for gold. I could use an actual gold. Should I use an actual gold? Do I want to get into using something other than cremes for this? Because that sort of makes me... If I go for like an actual gold polish for this one, then I'm going to feel like I need to use like a multi-chrome or something for the dog bane. Is that what I want to do? Beetle in a bubble. Bottle service. All right, let me take a look. It does look similar to the Twinkled Tea Gold. Let me see what I've got. Hang on. All right. There's the Twinkled Tea one. I also have... Don't I have a gold? I have a gold abomination as well. All right, there's the Twinkled Tea. There's the abomination. And then there's bottle service. Kind of feeling the Twinkled Tea. What do y'all think? Twinkled Tea? I feel like it's the closest. Yeah? That was a good call, Marie. I think you were right. Okay. We'll do this one. I don't have a gold that really has a proper green hue, but yeah, I think this is probably the closest. All right, so let's see if I can pretty much just do. So the whole thing isn't gold. It's just like the non-bubble part. All right. Try and sort of get the shape in here reasonably decently. And of course we will refine. These guys are really interesting looking because they're like they have just like a huge portion of their body that looks impossible. It's like, how are you partly in a bubble? What are you doing in that bubble, sir? You are round, but you are not round, and you are in a bubble. Sir, that is illegal. Get out of that bubble, please. They're weird looking. Hello, Sanyo. Captain Whatever is too orange. Is it not? I feel like I ended up not getting Captain Whatever. Did I? I can't remember now. There was a reflective version of each of the ones in that collection, and I think I might have gotten... Did I get Captain Whatever? Did I get the reflective version of a different one in that collection? I don't bloody well remember. Listen, if you say I have Captain Whatever, there's a decent chance that I do and I just don't know it. Okay, I think I'm going to use a little bit of super thinned out white to make some highlights around the bubble portion of things so that it looks, you know, more bubbly but still transparent. Cat, listen. What are you good for? Come on. If you don't have my collection memorized, what are you even doing here? I rely on you people to know what I have. I certainly don't know what I have. All right, so I'm gonna do some like thinned out sort of highlights. I'm not going to do the whole thing. I'm just going to do a few little areas. And then we are going to outline this in black the same way we're doing with the other parts. So I think we'll do a little bit under here just to sort of help define the space. And I gotta backtrack part of that because I went too far. May, you've arrived. Hello. Welcome. You haven't inventoried my collection. I keep telling you I need you to make my database. Cats turning into biscuits. Well, that is unfortunate. All right, now, this guy is rather complicated. Okay, let's start with what we know. We know that the elytra are going to be divided in the middle, so that part's a safe bet. We can put a little line there. And then we have this here and this here. That's the edges of the elytra at the top. And then I can see that there's some black marks that come out here onto the transparent part of the elytra. And there's also some markings that are on the gold part of the elytra that are just like giving it some abs. There we go. Giving our beetle some abs. All right, and we need that black mark on this side. And then we're going to have a couple of little dots on this part. which are not eyes. I'm sorry to tell you, if you thought they were eyes, you were wrong. Not eyes. They're just cute little markings. The eyes are going to be up here in this part because this is the head part. And I can't tell what's going on there. Looks like we got a little upside down smile. I don't know. There's like a little weird Pikachu thing happening here. We'll just fudge that part. It's fine. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just has to be good enough, right? All right. Now, we need more abs. If you don't have time or energy to work out, you can just do what this little beetle has done and just get some markings in the shape of abs that you want. So you just paint abs on. It's really effective. That would be such good actual advice, though, right? I wonder if there are any fitness gurus out there legitimately suggesting that you just use this product and paint it on your abs and it will give you instant muscles. I would be so happy. All right, so I'm just going to sort of lightly outline the actual beetle, the body of the beetle. And then I'm also going to lightly outline the elytra. The clear part here. There we go. And then I don't have to do any leggies because these guys, their leggies are hidden, but we do need some little antennae to come up and up. There we go. I have to catch up on chat now. May May announcing the new second cat. Are these beetles nasty tasting? I don't know. I've never eaten one, Marie. I don't go around eating beetles. What the hell, man? They're probably nasty tasting. I don't know. Oh, that whole time I was like way over here. Y'all need to tell me when I'm like way off. You would take in a stray, you want a kitten? Yeah, a kitten that would be good. Cat distribution system will find cat. Yeah, you gotta be careful asking about that. May, have you named the orange one that started coming around? Oh, couch potato, you get the blue bees? You have to say that carefully. Blue bees. You got to make sure you pronounce that L. That is really, really exciting. We don't have the larger like fuzzy blue ones in North America. We do have some metallic bees and wasps that are like fancy blue and green colors. But we don't have the ones that have the blue fuzzies. No name yet, May? Here, let me give you jammy dodgers for a minute while I have a cup of tea, or have a few sips of tea. Over there snoring. Yeah, May, it takes so much time sometimes to get them sort of chill enough to get checked out by a vet. It's a big deal. We ended up having to take Cinna to the vet before we really felt she was ready. And then we ended up having to take her several times because it turned out that she had she had a Giardia infection. So it was like, okay, well, now she has to have like several doses of medication, and, so it was like kind of a thing. She ended up having to go in, I think, like 3 times in just a few months. We were really hoping to sort of build trust a bit more before we had to do that, but Zane struggles with the vet, yeah. Oh, Najwa. You got a dog that gets too scared to eat? I mean, honestly, I do not blame any animal for being scared of the vet, right? Like, they go there, it's not home, and especially cats, right? Like, it's not like you go to the vet for fun things, right? You go to the vet and, like, you get poked and prodded by a stranger, and they stick something up your butt, and then sometimes they give you shots, and those are not pleasant. Like, there's nothing about going to the vet that sounds nice to me. So I don't blame them. All right, dogbane leaf beetle is going to be our next one. So I guess, do I want to do this one? I probably want to do this one with metallics, but I think I want to do several, and I think, I know what I want to do for this. I have it. Y'all, I'm smart. I don't know if you knew this. Hang on. All right. Disclosure time. I got this in PR. It's the Rainbow Magnetic collection from Monarch. You can only get them as a set. She does not sell them individually. But really nice, just like basic magnetic collection. If you just need to fill a magnetic hole in your collection or your heart. So, I do think, as a result of wanting to use these, I also want to do them velvet. So I'm going to have to do them in, I think I'm going to have to do it like this. Can I grip it like that? God, it's so uncomfortable for me to grip like this because I have wrist problems, but we'll make it work. Okay, so it's mostly going to be green. We'll use the straight up green for that, but we are going to need the bluey green and the blurple one for the head area, and we're going to need the yellows and reds, the yellow, red, orange for parts of the back, because with this one it's like a multi-chrome. The beetle itself is like a multi-chrome beetle. So you do have to use either multiple colors or somehow have a color that is all of those colors. And I, for one, have not actually seen anything that fits the bill. So we will start with just the one green as our base. I seem to have some sort of lint on my nail. Maybe that's actually a string of undried polish. All right, we're just gonna go, whoop. Like this. They're pretty straight. And then sort of moderate butt taper. All right, so there's that part, and then you've got, I'm trying to see, I can't tell if I can see better in the, yeah, okay. Because the laptop is at just the wrong distance for me to really be able to see, it's like I can either look in the tiny phone screen that is in the right range for me to see, or the much larger laptop screen that is in the wrong range for me to see. And neither of those is really an excellent option. They both kind of suck. Okay. So there's our base. And then we'll start on the elytra. I'm gonna add, I have a hair. Uh-oh, hang on. Oh, geez. Oh, geez. That's a cat hair if I ever saw one. Love that for me. It's always amazing how fast all y'all with pets know the pain. Get a new polish in. Like, sometimes it's like the first use and you're like, did that come from the maker or did that come from my cat? I don't fucking know. Does it matter? Do I care? It's all the same, but it is funny. You have snapdragons on your balcony, Couch Potato? I love when you get those kinds of flowers like snapdragons that have like a little well that their critters will go into, and it's like you see their little butts sticking out. Just like wiggling their little butts. It's the best. All right. Doing a mix of the green and yellow on this side. And then just yellow in a few like highlight areas. And then I'm going to bring out some orange and red. I think that's going to be it for the yellow. Your dogs will be shedding and then asked to be on your lap during a mani. Yeah. I mean, the cats are constantly shedding, so. I have a monitor just for chat, Cat. It's my phone. It's right here. It's what I'm looking at when I look down there. Okay. The chat is the thing that's at the good distance, but because it's a monitor, because it's such a small screen, it's like annoying. And I don't have space to put like an actual like full-size fucking computer monitor. That's simply not going to happen. I do not have infinite space here. All right, there's my red. Get some orange around it. Probably going to want to put a little bit more yellow actually now that I see the red part on there. Put a little orange over here. You try to plant stuff for your bees and moths? Yeah. And other bugs, yes. Yeah, it's nice. I don't know if y'all have a problem with invasive species over there. It's an enormous problem for us in North America in general, because when the European and British people started coming over, they brought all of their garden plants with them. They were like, oh yay, let's just bring all our flowers and such with us. And turns out that's bad, but it took a little too long for anyone to figure out that was the case. So yeah, there's a lot of problems. So we have a lot of species here that are from Europe and from the UK that really shouldn't be here. And it's just way too late to do anything about it because they've been here for, 100 years or whatever in a lot of cases. Yeah, native grasses are just basically non-existent in most places in North America now. Okay. There we go. So we got some of the blue, some of the blurple. Kat, you're trying to convince your parents to do a native conversion project on their land. That is an excellent idea. I love when people do that. We want to do that on our property, but we've had some holdups. We'd actually been talking to a company, a local landscaper that specializes in native planting. But like now, with all the uncertainty, it's hard to know how long Brian's going to have a job. So it's like, well, do we drop $20,000 on landscaping this year? And that doesn't even include laying in the deck, which we need a new deck. But yeah. But part of it is like, we need to also deal with there's like a serious drainage problem on our property. Which, planting in some more natives would actually really help with that. So, yeah, we're debating the merits at this point of doing it now or waiting. It's hard to know what the right thing to do is when everything is so uncertain. Okay. So, I think I did a little bit too hard of an angle there. It should be a little bit more rounded. Got rounder shoulders. There are beetles out there that have real pointy shoulders, but the dogbane leaf beetle is not one of them. There we go. Yeah, it is basically an impossible decision right now. But, we're kind of like, well, if we do have to, make a significant change, it will most likely involve moving to Canada, which will mean selling the house, which, is going to be a lot easier to do if we've done some of these improvements. So, Okay, dogbane leaf beetle. Did not leave myself a lot of room for antennae, but we'll put them in here. And then add some little leggies. And I'm going to do a thing with this that might be a bad idea, but I'm going to try it. I need to get the goopy bits off there. Okay. Little leggies. Hello, little leggies. Hello, little leggies. Little leggies. There they are. I'm doing a bad job with these little leggies, I'll tell you what. These are not the best little leggies I've done. All right. That's okay, though. Okay. I'm going to do a little cleanup with some of this, because boy, did I ever make a mess with some of these bits. There was no reason to do this poor little guy dirty like that. Does not need to be wearing little puffy leg warmers. All right. Good enough. Okay. Now I want to do a little experiment here. I just want to add a little bit of the magnetic effect stuff, but I want to try and do it just in the middle a little magnetic area without getting it onto the black, because it will definitely melt the black. Okay. Because as I was applying it, of course, it was sort of drying as it went along. And so it did not velvet quite as nicely as it could have. So I'm hoping that using the magnetic effect, or the magic effect magnetic top coat, will help to just amplify that magnetic impact just a little bit. Yeah, not an 80s beetle. We do not want it to be an 80s beetle. No big leg warmers. I think that did work though, so that's good to know. Could have used thinner directly, but thinner is, well, thinner, and therefore a little more difficult to apply as precisely. All right, so there's my dogbane leaf beetle. Now, ooh, hey buddy. I think we were gonna skip that one because we wanted to do this one. So larger elm leaf beetle. Cute little guy. Just want to leave this in the magnet for a little bit longer. Look at that cutie. I'm thinking what I'm probably going to do is do them all matte, like put them all with a matte top coat, but then for some of them, like this one, add a glossy top coat just on the beetle itself. I might use a glossy top coat on this one as well. They are fairly shiny. 3 beetles down, 2 to go. Thanks, Marie. Iridescent shimmer for, you're saying for the leaf beetle? Yeah. Actually, who do I have for that? I have a bee's knees for that, I think. That would be good if I put a coat of it over black for that darker section. I don't think the yellow section wants an iridescent. I think just the black section wants an iridescent. Brittany, hello. Welcome. Did you see my little golden tortoise beetle? And my little Colorado potato beetle? We're about to do this other one. You've returned from feeding the kitties. Yay. All right, so next one here. Yeah, I'm thinking, what is the polish I'm thinking of? It's a bee's knees. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it. It's, I think it's a unicorn pea one. Somebody help me out. What's the one I'm thinking of? Is it game over? It couldn't be game over, could it? It's too blue, I think. Yeah, I think I was thinking of... No, it's not this one. This one's just blue. What is the one that I'm thinking of? Come on, y'all. Help me out here. I don't have Hippolyta. I mean, it's possible I destashed it too. I'm thinking I didn't like the one that I'm thinking of very much. It turns out I don't love unicorn pea very much. But okay, you know what? Suggest something else. Who knows an iridescent that's going to work over this? And it's got to be sheer. Is there a unicorn, or not a unicorn skin, a Holotaco shimmer that is the right color for that? So I think I have all of those. Brittany, you barely know what you're thinking of. That's okay. Brittany, you and I, we're like orange cats. And I think we're on the same single brain cell network. By the way, I started reading, and this is at least partly your fault, with all of your smut nonsense. I do have Bulba. Oh my god, Bulba is perfect for it. Reverse Cowgirl would also... Wait, isn't Reverse Cowgirl the one that's more orangey? I don't know. Hang on. Y'all... I swear. Yeah, Reverse Cowgirl is more orangey, Brittany. What the hell are you on about? That's an orange iridescent. I need a green teal iridescent. My goodness. Yeah, Bulba. Let me see Bulba. Where's my Phoenix? Bulba might work. Over black? Let me just do a quick test. If I do a thin bit of Bulba over black, just like a tiny little... I'll have to be careful with application, like almost dry brushing it on. That is very blue still. Maybe if I do... Okay, no, I know what to do. I know what to do. I know what to do. I'm on it. I'm on it. I've got it. I'm on it. Actually, let me check one more thing. Let me look at my Holotacos. Because I feel like there's a Holotaco shimmer that's like... Is it this one? That's the fucking one. Y'all, come on. I asked you about a Holotaco, and y'all didn't say Celestial Lights. All right. I'm going to use... Actually, I bet... Oh, hang on. What if I use that in that? I could use a dark green base, but... There it is. There it is. Okay. Okay, we're doing a combo. We're going to do a combo. I got it. I got it. Thanks, Couch Potato. Thanks for having my back there, buddy. All right. And then for the yellowy bits, I think we're going to use straight up butterscotch hop. And then for the amber bits, we will mix in some of Oh My Gourd. Right, I was gonna say, in the middle of all that, I started fucking reading, I started reading Fourth Wing, God help me. It's bad. It's really, I mean, it's, okay, the story itself is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's cute, I guess. But the way the sex scenes just like cut in, and then like it's literally just like, okay, and I'm doing an audiobook, right? Because that's how I roll. I can't be doing something with my eyeballs and not also doing something different with my hands at the same time. So like I'm trying to read this fucking, or listen to this fucking thing, and all of a sudden the audiobook narrator is like going into this like heavy duty smut scene. But, like, they're fucking monologuing. Like, what are they doing? They're, like, literally, like, villain monologuing in the middle of this sex that has just interrupted all of the plot. I can't, y'all. It's bad. It's not good. I don't understand how you people read this smut. Anyway, it's very cringy smut. It's not good. But I understand that people like it. I'm gonna do the next bit with the little brush. Don't blame Fourth Wing on you. I'm blaming Fourth Wing on you, at least partially. Maybe not 100%, because certainly there have been lots of Fourth Wing nonsense around from a variety of different makers. But you're the one that keeps shoving smut in my face. And so because you keep shoving smut in my face, Brittany, Instagram has started suggesting a lot of smut stuff to me now. You know that, right? It's like all my suggested stuff. So yeah, I'm blaming you. At least partly. I will also blame Alyssa. And bee's knees, even though I have not bought very much bee's knees in the last year or so. But definitely blaming them in part. Just like it keeps being in my brain. Brittany, of course I take it like a champ. Come on. It's me. We have the same brain. It's a little too orange. Need a little bit more of this butterscotch. Yeah, Alyssa will certainly accept the blame, but that's less fun. It's less fun for me when she accepts the blame. I prefer putting the blame on someone who does not want to accept the blame. That's more fun for me. So I'm going to blame Brittany. Anyway, I do enjoy the more like political and fighting parts of it. I just wish it was just that, because the sex scenes are not well written. And I'm also just not a big fan of sex scenes in my plot. It's annoying. It's not like chocolate and peanut butter. They do not go together. Very few authors do them well. You're going to blame Alyssa too? I mean, we can both blame Alyssa. That's fine for me. All right. I'm going to use some black. They are very, very teenager. You're right. It's but like I don't know. I didn't read stuff like that when I was a teenager. Even as like even when I was that age, I really was not interested in that kind of book. I was very interested in hard SF. And not a whole lot else. Which is, I would say, 90% of what I'm interested in these days as well. All right, this guy got kind of a pear-shaped booty. So I got to be careful not to bring it in too much. Let that pear-shaped booty shine. Nothing wrong with being pear-shaped. It's a beautiful shape. I don't love pears, the fruit, but pear shape, that's just fine. All right. Twilight smut equals 50 Shades of Grey. Yeah, that's already a thing that exists. And then, you know, here's the thing. And I've said this before. I'm fine with smut. I have no problem with smut. Smut is just fine. Smut is great. I just don't want it to interrupt the plot. Like, I think you can have one or the other. And just make your book about that. I don't think that most people that write good books write good smut, and I don't think that most people that write good smut write good books. And so you just end up with either a decent book with bad smut or a bad book with decent smut. And I just don't, that's not, like, just pick a lane, figure out what you're good at, and lean into it. You know? It's okay to just write pornography. You don't have to have a whole ass plot around it. You can just write the sex scenes if that's the part that you like and you're good at. And if what you want to write and you're good at is the actual plot, then you can just write the plot and fade to black for the sex scenes. Yeah, that was too much. Brittany, you didn't realize that 50 Shades of Grey was a Twilight fanfic, or started out as a Twilight fanfic? Yeah. You know? There's nothing wrong with that. I'm a fan of fanfic. Not that I read it, but that it exists. I think it's great that it exists. People should be free to make whatever fictional characters they want boink each other. That's just fine. All right. I need more of this, and then I'm going to need to start bringing in some. Bring me the teal for the next phase of this operation. Oh, you ran off the side. Damn it. That's not helping. All right, we do some black base here. Because this part, we're going to need a nice dark base to it, but then we're also going to want to add in some greens. We're going to do a little bit of layering here. And then this is kind of a curvy-inny butt area. That's the technical term. Curvy-inny butt area. Mm-hmm. All right. Satan is strong in this chat. I think that seems correct. Yeah, chaos chat. I'm having a hard time keeping up with chat, so you know, I might miss some stuff. So sorry if I do, but hopefully y'all are just having a good time talking amongst yourselves. Okay. Now we want this. Gonna do some, bring me the teal over this portion of things. There we go. And over this portion of things also. And then down here. Not covering up all the black, I'm just covering parts of it. Trying to sort of blend it out a little bit. Whoop, and then fucking up that part. That's very important. Hope everybody's taking notes. It's very important to go outside the area you're supposed to be painting so that you have to touch it up. This is a pro move, pro level strats here. All right. Got to make more labels. You know, why don't you want to make more labels? Is it that you don't want to make them, or is it that you don't want to like print them? What is the portion of the program that is causing the holdup? I needed to go a little further down with this, I can see. A little further in, a little further down. I've made this this orange stripe is too wide right now. Gotta get the Cricut set up. Cricut or Cricket? I can never call it Cricket because it sounds too stupid. It looks like it should be spelled Cricut, so I call it a Cricut. I know people call it a Cricket, but I think those people are wrong and bad, possibly evil. Maybe leading to the downfall of the human race. It's just an opinion, man. All right, that's pretty good. Oh, so it's all the actual printing steps. It's like the printing and cutting. Cricut. Cricut is just extra wrong. That's like... That's a whole other menacing level of wrong. I like it. I approve. Okay, so we got the bulba. I'm gonna whoop, that's too much. I'm gonna do some little strokes of the bulba in here, but I'm not gonna completely cover. And then I'm gonna do some little strokes of the Fuzumawatchit. Whatever this one's called. Celestial Seasonings. Whatever. I don't know. Fucking Hollow Taco. What is it? Celestial Lights. Alright. This one I will do a bit more of because it is more sparse. So I don't think it will fuck anything up to layer it on thicker. The bulba on its own would have definitely covered too much. Okay. There we go. I think that is a finished friend right there. You bought a button maker, Cat? Hey, it would help if I was looking at where the camera was pointing. There we go. All right, we got one last beetle to do, and this is the one that we have not chosen yet. So, the choices are, we got this St. John's wort beetle, or this one, which I feel like it looks a little too similar to the other one that I just did, or this guy right here. What do we think? Do we want Dotty Boy here? Or do we want sort of navy blue, slightly multi-chromy? The Elton John beetle, Najwa? Okay. The St. John's wort beetle is now officially the Elton John beetle. Y'all, it's ridiculous. All right, everybody except Rax has voted for St. John's wort beetle, so that's the one we're going to do. Sorry, Rax. You got outvoted. Okay, this one I think... What's the perfect polish for this? Do I have something that is indigo? I don't want to do something that's actually those colors. I want to use the teal turquoise as a highlight. So I could use the magnetics again for this. I think that's probably a good idea. I feel like I have this color as well, but I think I don't actually want to use this color because I think it's going to not be right. But I'm feeling like, or I could use a creme and do the same like these guys. This combo iridescent over like a navy. So that would be an option. Or, yeah, I could use like this and this, these two magnetics together. That might be an option. I would probably still want to add a little tiny bit of this for highlighting. I think I might want to do these two. I think that's going to probably work out well. Let's do that. Let's do that. Okay. I think it's time for a new piece of tape. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. This guy is pretty much an oval. His base is like just a little nugget. All right, I'm gonna do just a sort of. I probably shouldn't be doing this with the bottle brush, but I am anyway. Because, you know, because I am. That's why. Doing it this way because I'm doing it this way. Because I'm a fucking idiot. Who the hell knows? All right, we'll do that. We'll get this going properly. So I'm just going to do a whole nice thick layer of this to start with. And then layer over the more greeny and turquoisey tones. That paddle brush looks lovely. Yeah, it's a nice one. I am so fucking picky about brushes that I pretty much won't voluntarily use a polish that I don't like the brush. Like, the polish has to be so fucking spectacular for me to get over the brush. So there's like a handful of brands that I'm like, yes, your brush is good. I want that. That's what I want in my life. Yes, Brittany, yours is one of them. BCP has nice brushes. They're good. I know she was thinking about it. She was like, does she like my brushes? I don't know if she likes my brushes. All right. do a little bit of cleanup. I probably shouldn't really even worry about cleanup at this stage because I'm going to be doing outlines. I am going to bring that butt in a little bit there, though, or that head. Okay, now I want... You left for a second, came back, and I said, yes, you, Brittany. You had no idea what was happening. No, I was talking about that I'm picky about bottle brushes, and there's like a handful of brands that have brushes that I really like, and so I was saying that yes, you are one of them. Okay, a little bit of this green. It is a little on the dark side, so I'm definitely going to want to add some other stuff to lighten it up, or at least to sort of bring out that sparkliness. Let's see if this does the trick. Let's see. I don't want to do that with the bottle brush. It's going to be too much. You just assume you're being scolded? Yeah. Well, normally I would be scolding you, but in this particular case, I was actually not scolding you. I was complimenting your fucking brushes, okay? Jesus. All right. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this. I feel like it hasn't quite captured it. Nope, I don't like it. I'm doing it. I'm redoing it. Yeah, it does have to be a paddle brush. I'm like so annoyed when it's not a paddle brush. But even within that, there are definitely paddle brushes that are like not as good. So yeah, picky beyond just it has to be a paddle brush. Some of them are like softer and nicer than others. Aggressive compliments via Peggy make you happy and scared all at the same time. Yeah, it's my goal. All right. Yeah, when is Ramadan over? March 30th? Boy, that's still a pretty good way off. All right. We're starting from scratch with this nail. Sorry, y'all. Uh-oh. One of my lights has started blinking. My side light just started blinking, which means it's been on for too long. So it needs to be turned off for a little while. So we're not going to have light on that side for a little bit. Hopefully it doesn't make too huge of a difference. Okay. Agua. All right, Brittany. Thanks for coming by. It was nice to see you. I always appreciate a visit. All right, just gotta let my my base here dry. Yeah, so I think what I'm gonna do for this, since I want to change tracks here a little bit, I'm gonna switch over to Shady Navy, and I'm gonna do it all in cremes, and then I'm gonna add the iridescent stuff like I did with this one here. I think I'm going to be happier with that. So get my smoothing base. Yeah, crems and highlights, and then the iridescent. I'm definitely going to end up being happier with it that way. In the meantime, I can start doing my top coats, because I'm going to have multiple top coat layers to do on these other nails. So we'll start with the seal glaze. Because otherwise I will definitely have streakiness from that black. Let's see. Very powerful black that loves to streak even when it's super dry. All right. Do I have Hollow Taco Teal No Lies? Which one is that? I forget. Did I get that one? I might have gotten that one. But I think my problem is that anything glittery is not gonna give me the dimensionality that I want for this one. Because it's all one color, I think it needs... I think it just needs a more subtle approach. Last year's royalty polish. Did I get Teal No Lies? Hang on. Maybe. No, I don't see it. I'm gonna go with maybe not, because I don't see it in my Hollow Taco drawer. But I also need to do my cabs. I need to do my cabochons. What does it work? Would it work as an undie? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I feel like using glittery stuff. There's a thing that happens when you use glittery polish in nail art. It is really easy to lose any kind of detail. Hello. Because the glitter sort of confuses your eyes. And in a case like this, you can get away with it because I've used a bunch of glittery things in different hues that give it more definition. And it's bounded with the black lines to kind of help solidify everything. But it's really easy for the glitters to kind of just like swamp everything. So yeah, I don't know. A lot of the time I stay away from using anything too shimmery or glittery for detailed nail art for that reason. It works best as an accent for the most part. Like I really like the iridescent shimmer used in this, where it's like sort of strategically placed. Same within this one, it's strategically placed. But here it's, you know, sort of at the borderline where I feel like it works in this case, but it would get away from you really quickly if you tried to do too much with it. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna start with Shady Navy, I think, for this. It's not quite the right tone, but I feel like Indigo Away is more the right tone, but I don't know. Hang on. Maybe Indigo Away is a better I don't know. Is that too blurple? Maybe too blurple. No, I'm gonna start with the indigo away. Okay. And this has the worst brush. It's one of the OG ones. Oh yeah, that's garbage application. Okay. I'm gonna use Shady Navy as well. But I'm throwing down this as the first base because I want it around the edges. I want to get a hint of that blurple right on the rim. So I'm not actually concerned about the middle section so much, but the edges I really want to have. Okay. So we'll do that. And then the Shady Navy is going to go over top of that. And it's going to cover most of it. I probably should have just done this with the bottle brush, but it does have the wider bottle brush, so it can be a little bit more challenging. I didn't put enough blue. Okay. So I just have the indigo away just as like a halo around the edges of it. So you get that like as it curves off to the extremes. See that little bit of purple? And then I want a mix of whatever this one is. Bring me the teal with a little bit of Scientific. Hilariously, when Scientific came out, I loved it so much that I actually bought a backup of it. And this one, like, you can see the line, the fill line for where it is. So I still just have a fucking backup of Scientific for no reason. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna go with a little bit of like a little highlight area here. And then a little bit of a highlight area here. And then we're gonna blend those out a little bit. By blending a bit of that mix that I just made with a little bit of the Shady Navy and keeping it very thinned. Oop, hey. Too much. All right, let's try and get sort of a little bit of a gradient effect in here. There we go. Remember how at the beginning I was like, I want to do more of a graphic style, so I don't want to get like too caught up in like realistic shading and stuff? That aged well. Yeah. Listen. I can't help it. I love beetles. Okay. Now, I'm going to do the black parts next so that that part has a little bit of time to dry before I move on to the iridescent bits. Okay, so we get our little divider and down the middle of the elytra. And our little triangle bit. And this outline. And I don't want to cover up my indigo. So I want to be careful I stay mostly to the outside of that indigo. There we go. All right. I colored outside the lines a little bit there. Now you can't really see this guy's actual head because it's kind of just covered. But you can get his little antennae. Oh. Oh. Oh boy, I did a real bad job of that. That's okay. I'm gonna do a little cleanup. All nail art starts off as this will be like this and goes off in another direction. Yeah, totally. Yeah. And I like never really walk in with a solid plan about what I'm doing. I usually kind of just make it up as I go along, almost entirely. So all right. Try and just thin out that antenna a little bit. Okay, that's a little better. And then let's give him some little leggies. Go. Leggy. And leggy. And then a leggy. And a leggy. You have to say leggy for each leggy, or it doesn't work as well. It's like basically how you make your leggies turn out good is you say leggy for each one. Pro tip. That's not just for nail art either. That's like any art you want to do of beetles. You have to announce each leggy. Actually also works for spiders and millipedes. With millipedes and centipedes, oh boy, you say leggy a lot. You put your left leggy in, you put your second left leggy in, you put your third left leggy in, you put your fourth left leggy in. You know, when millipedes and centipedes do that dance, it takes a really long time. But they're really good at it. It's spectacular when you see a whole bunch of them doing it together. Okay, now see this. I'm much happier about this already. Okay, so let's do some. Oh, this has done something fun. See the little open cells that it's made there? That's from adding too much thinner, which is fine because I needed it to be super thin, but yeah. They turn that dance into the song that never ends. This is the song that never ends. Okay, so we're going to use a little bit of bulba. Again, we want to use this sparingly. We want some shimmer, but we don't want to totally take over. And then, so I got a little bit there. I got a little bit in the wrong spot. Hey, get out of there. Alright, and actually I think I'm going to use just a tiny little bit just up in this area. Just give that a little bit of a shim shim. And then I'm going to use a little tiny bit of this as well. The celestial, whatever the fuck it is. Lights, celestial lights. Like celestial seasonings again. Popped into my brain first because my brain is awesome at that sort of thing. Okay. All right. I think, now I do feel like I went a little hard on the shimmers on this side. Uh-oh. Now, if I go too far, am I going to end up lifting? I don't want to end up lifting. Okay, no, we'll just leave it then. That's fine. All right, there we go. There's our little friend. Which will be easier to see once I mattify this. And this beetle will stay matte. What you're saying is I can make fluid polish with any color, just add a lot of thinner. I mean, if you are made of silicone and you add a fuck ton of thinner and then just let it air dry, sometimes it will form little weird cells, and most of the time it will not. I have seen it happen a few times, but it's not a default by any means. No guarantees of that. Certainly not going to be very fun on your nails. Okay, so now we want to do the regular top coat, and then I'm going to do matte top coat on top of this, because I think I'm probably not going to have time to do my nails again for a couple of days. Oop, how now? I must have missed a spot when I did the seal glaze, because I just got a little tiny bit of streaking right down there at the bottom. But yeah, I'm probably not going to be able to do my nails again for a couple of days, so I'm going to, I actually want them to last for a couple of days, so I'm not going to go straight to the matte. Sometimes I just go straight to the matte top coat if I don't care how long it lasts. But yeah, if I want it to last, always glossy and then matte. Because the matte, as we know, not protective. So, some of these are going to be fully matte. Some of these are not going to be fully matte. I'm going to give this guy a minute before I put the seal glaze on it. And then I'm going to have to give it a little bit more time before I do the top coat on it. So, but this guy is going to be fully matte. This guy, I want to leave the beetle itself glossy, but do the rest of the nail matte. Somehow I got blue on this nail. I got blue babadoo, bada boo. I don't know how that song goes. I'm too old. That's not true. I'm not too old. I just forget. Anyway, yeah, I want matte for the background of this one. This one, I think I want matte for the background and gloss for the beetle. This one I might do fully matte. I'm not sure. This one definitely needs to be fully matte. Bada bee bada da. See? Da ba da. Yeah, no, that's not. There's no way. That sort of nonsense is never going to stick in my head correctly. You know those, Those things that are supposed to help you remember things. What are those called? Mnemonics. Oh my god, what a good word to forget though, huh? Those I never remember those. Never. They don't stick. They're unhelpful for me. I can't make any of them work. I don't think there's ever been one that has worked for me. They're like okay, so for example, calendars, right? Which months have 30 days? There's that rhyme. And I get caught up right at the very beginning of it because it's 30 days have one of the embers, one of the something that ends with ember. April? May? June? I don't know. And then another ember, I think. Like, it's not obvious to me. None of it works. It doesn't help. It does not help at all for me. And then there's the knuckle one for that, where you're supposed to be like, I don't know if you start with January, February. I don't know which knuckles you do, and like at some point you either have to, I think you have to like double tap one or something. That's not I don't understand how y'all's brains work, that is a thing that works for you, but yeah, see, everybody's like doing the rhyme as though that's, useful in any way. It's just like, it's great that it works for you, but it does not work for me. I'm 49. I've literally heard the rhyme thousands of times. I don't know if I will ever be able to remember it. I don't think that I will at this point. I'm fairly certain that my brain has just decided that it is simply not interested in retaining this particular piece of information. Indoctrination worked on you. Yeah, see, okay, touching knuckles, but how do you can't count them if they're touching? That doesn't make any sense. How would you know what to double touch? You see, it's not, y'all, it's not helpful. All right. For this guy, I think I might just do the mat around the edges, maybe? Is this gonna work? Am I gonna be able to do this? I don't know. We're gonna try, though. Try without, well, no, I'm just gonna get it all over my skin because that's gonna be easier. I'm not gonna worry about avoiding my skin. We're just gonna go ahead and paint it on. Yeah, this is... No, I don't think it's because I'm a leap year baby. I think it's because I'm a fucking idiot. I think it's because my brain doesn't work right. I'm fairly confident that it's because my brain doesn't work right. I don't think that it's because I'm a leap year baby. I do agree, though, that I don't care about those 30-month days or 30-day months. They're irrelevant to my life. Okay. Get a little clean up here. And I think I did okay mostly. I missed a little spot here. Hello, Ray. My brain works awesome for bugs. It's true. I was actually talking about this with my husband the other day as well, because, like, you know, he has all these, like, stars and planets that he has memorized and he knows them. And, like, I was like, you need to be proud of me that I remembered, or that I realized that that had to be this particular planet because of the time of year and where it is in the sky. And he was like confused that I felt like he should be proud of me for that. And I was like, dude, you need to remember that it's me. It's me. It's me, your idiot wife. It took me until I was like, well, until I started dating him, actually, the only thing I could confidently identify in the sky, besides the moon and the sun, and like airplanes. Oh, look, it's an airplane. Oh, look, it's a cloud. You know, the only sort of celestial body that I could confidently identify was Orion, and that's only because of the belt. Nothing else, though. That was it. It's just Orion. The thing is, this thing about like not needing to remember things because you just look it up. I have never it like I couldn't look things up, right? Growing up, I didn't have access to any way of looking these things up aside from like in an actual fucking book. Like that wasn't that's not my excuse. My excuse is just that this is my brain. This is how my brain operates. There is no way I would be able to learn all 50 states. Not a fucking chance. I it so the Canadian provinces and territories, I was able to name all of them. It's 10 provinces and it used to be 2 territories, now it's 3. I was able to name all of them, but I literally could not tell you what order the prairie provinces came in as you're going across the country until I drove across them. Once I've drove through them, from that moment on, I know the order of the prairie provinces. But until I have driven through them, I do not know the order of the prairie provinces. That is my brain. That's just how it works. Yeah, exactly, Ray. I don't remember what I mean, I do know what I ate this morning because I ate the same thing that I eat every morning, but okay, this guy needs to be, I think, completely matte, I'm pretty sure. He looks pretty matte to me. So I'm going to do him all matte. It might be almost time to set this bottle of matte top coat aside and open up a new one. What I usually do when I'm like running low on something like a top coat is I'll just set aside the bottle when it's fairly low, and then just combine later once my next one gets a little bit low. But yeah, this is getting pretty low. Yeah, exactly, Ray. There's so much information in my brain that I actually care about. I can't imagine why I would need to remember any of these other things. Yeah, Marie, I do have the excuse of being Canadian for not being able to name all the states. But all right, I want to give this one another minute just to make sure that it's dry enough for my top coat to go on. My matte top coat, that is. But yeah, I think this is looking pretty good. my Colorado potato beetle. And then we got a hare. We got a golden tortoise beetle. Would you like to focus on my golden tortoise beetle? And then we got our dogbane leaf beetle. And then this one is the larger elm beetle. And that one we're keeping all matte. And then this one we're going to mattify completely. That's the St. John's wort, or Elton John beetle, as y'all have dubbed it. Oh yeah, the quadratic formula, there's absolutely no reason for anybody to remember that. Not a chance. I do have, of course I have the one formula that I used literally every day in the lab that was also the only math I ever had to do in the lab. So that was just for diluting solutions. I don't think that the formula actually has a name. It's just C1v1 equals C2v2. It's just the most basic of algebra. Elton John beetle is your favorite? I like the way this Elton John beetle came out. I am much, much happier with this second attempt at it. And I will be even happier once it is actually matte. It's working on it. Slowly but surely. You do word relations to remember certain things? Yeah. That often, if I invent something to remember a thing, then usually I'll remember that. But if somebody else tells me their way of remembering the thing, forget it. It's not going to help me at all. All right, so everybody recognize this boy? You should. Come on, focus. You're not helping, camera. Hello? Would you like to... No, you don't want to focus? You're going to stay focused down here? How about if... No? Oh, okay. Oh, well, you keep almost focusing. Okay. So this one is obviously this one. Colorado potato beetle. And this one here we did not end up doing, I think. Yeah, we did not end up doing this one. This one here is the golden tortoise beetle, which is on my fingy here. This one we did not end up doing. This was spotted something or other. I can't remember. Oh, is it the stamper causing the problem? It does like that stamper a lot. Spotted willow leaf beetle we did not end up doing. This one here is the dogbane leaf beetle, I believe. Yes, that's the dogbane leaf beetle right there. She didn't do very much color for these because in this area it's harder for color to hold. So we decided to do mostly black and white. So it's all black, just black here, and then a little bit of color in these ones. This one we didn't do because it was the other one that looked a little bit too similar to this guy here. But this guy is this guy. And then this one here is the Elton John beetle. This one right there. Bubble beetle. Hilarious. It's gonna forever be the bubble beetle. Y'all, there are so many fucking polishes on my desk again. All right. Well, let me first of all kill this. We don't need that anymore. There we go. Looks like he had a bikini top and bottom on that pear-shaped booty. Yeah. Yeah, he does. Got a little tan. Here, let me send you back over to the cats. or the singular cat, the Dodgers. The Dodgers puddin' pie. Such a good girl. Can I bring this over just a little bit? Not very much. I'm almost out of cord space there, so don't have a whole lot of slack in that cable. This was fun. I agree, Najwa. Thank you. All right, that's going to be it. Thank you all for coming and hanging out with me. I just noticed a spot that I missed with the mat. So I'll touch that up. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I'm glad that y'all came by and hung out with me. And I don't know if any of y'all are not. Something in my throat all of a sudden. If any of y'all are not already subscribed, you should do that. Please like the video. That is helpful for me. And yeah. Thanks. Bye. Holler at me if you have ideas for another stream. Okay? Okay, bye. End stream.